In today's video, global warming resolved, mammoth style. Hi, welcome back to Dad's channel. Thanks for popping by, it's always great to see you. I hope you're checking out all the content that we're putting out there on the channel, and I hope you're subscribing. Do consider if you haven't already. Without further ado, what are we going to talk about today? A mammoth task ahead, global warming. Let's talk about mammoths. Woolly mammoths were disappearing from around 12,000 years ago or so, probably a little bit before. A lot of that was due to some climate change, actually. No, not quite the same as we understand global warming today, with our misuse or our treatment of the planet. So we already know that the Earth has cycles where it warms and then it cools and then it warms again, and so the process continues. But it takes the planet thousands of years to do this, which is why there's the problem of what we call global warming. Global warming is where man has basically interfered with how our atmosphere is overcrowded with carbon, and we've done that in the past few hundred years since the Industrial Revolution during the 1700s. So back to mammoths. First problem that they had was that the warming was changing their grassland homes on the tundra to more of a moss. Therefore, they were losing their habitat, and therefore there wasn't as much food as there once was. Secondly, humans were also hunting them. That didn't help. Roll forwards to today, and now they're starting to talk about bringing the mammoths back and how they can help with our global warming problem. So we have a rapidly warming Earth, some of it man's input appears. So where do mammoths fit in? Big woolly coats, and they're used to really icy cold areas to live in. Science may well have the answer. One of the things that we do have to get our head around, though, is bringing an animal back from extinction and how we can do that. And are we actually happy playing God, tampering with things? So if we are going to bring them back, we're going to have to start with the Asian elephant. And then we're going to have to do some genetic modification. Basically, it will be a hybrid animal with the look and the behaviour of a woolly mammoth. But let's talk permafrost. What is permafrost? Permafrost is a layer of earth that is frozen solid and remains so for up to a minimum of 2 years. And it may be under the surface or include the surface. One of the problems of the permafrost melting, which seems to be happening at the moment, is what's in there. Greenhouse gases, obviously, but are there viruses contained within the permafrost that will potentially harm the animals on the planet, and that will include us? So if the greenhouse gases that are contained within the permafrost are released, that will make global warming even worse. But the main reason we don't want the permafrost to melt is it's a good carbon store. It contains about 1,700 billion tons of it, and that's really great. So we've got a melting permafrost. What are we going to do about it? Now there's potential for the mammoths to enter the picture. So what we need to do is recreate the steppe ecosystem where they lived, and that's deteriorated. There are far fewer plants now out on the steppe than there were 12,000 years ago. Reintroducing species can transform a habitat, and one of the best examples we got of that is the reintroduction of wolves to Yellowstone Park in America. By reintroducing the wolves, the whole ecosystem has changed and it's benefited immensely. Therefore, out on the steppe or the tundra, we'd have to recreate a foraging system. These animals would forage for food during the winter, compacting the snow and ice onto the earth and making the place colder for longer. Grasslands would allow the ice and snow to remain on the ground longer. Again, another benefit. Deep-rooted grasses will grow more, therefore allowing the habitat to absorb much more carbon. And that's a great benefit for us. With the deeper roots, the moist soil would dry out, keeping the methane and the carbon locked away. Therefore, you would need various types of grazing animals: reindeer, bison, and mammoths. Reindeer would simply be grazing the grass, which would produce a mosaic of heights of grassland. The bison would also do the same, but they would also be nibbling at the trees and eating the bark. But what they wouldn't be able to do is push the trees over. Enter the mammoth. Now the mammoth would provide a huge range of habitat by destroying some of the trees, allowing grasslands to grow, allowing trees to replenish. Genome science, once science fiction, but these days, are we really ready to recreate animals at our will? I won't even pretend to know how it's all done and who does what in a laboratory, But it's already been done. There have already been cloning projects. Now, Asian elephants are quite happy in the snow for short periods, but mammoths, on the other hand, were used to temperatures of -40 degrees and would spend long periods of time out on the tundra in the freezing cold weather. So do we see the new project as ethical? It would mean changing a few of the genes that the Asian elephant already has, therefore allowing it to behave like a mammoth, withstanding the cold temperatures for much longer periods. So, are we going to be determined enough to stop global warming, and does anything go? Or is this playing God? Are we prepared to accept the ethics of changing an animal's behaviour on our behalf? Thanks for watching. I hope you found that interesting. I certainly did, finding out a lot of that information. Please like and do comment below. It'd be great to hear your comments on climate change, COP27, etc. Yeah, like, subscribe to the channel, check out the other content, and I will see you on the next video.